We've had a very hectic morning. Our original train was canceled.
I think that we overplanned.
I felt ambitious, I'll admit. The weekends are for markets. There are markets everywhere in Turin.
It's like hot chocolate meets coffee.
Wow, that was absolutely incredible.
On our last episode, we ventured to the land of meats and cheeses, Parma, and learned all about the age-old tradition of making Parmigiano Reggiano. And today it's off to the former capital of Italy, Turin, where we make some travel confessions before exploring the birthplace of chocolate. We're Howard and Caitlin Newstate, dog people, food people, adventure people. We've been living on the road for the past 3 years, traveling through North America and beyond. Right now, we're taking you along on an epic, beautiful, and delicious journey across Italy. From coast to coast, city to town, by boat, train, and automobile, you're with us as we visit over a dozen places in this gorgeous country.
Let's go. Good morning from the train station. We've had a very hectic morning. First of all, our original train was canceled. We received no notification that the train was canceled. It was a regional train, meaning it was a very cheap train. We always had a connection in Milan in order to get to Turin. However, because we were on a regional train, which is the cheap ticket, you can't change to the more expensive trains, which are available. In a moment of brilliance, we thought, oh, we'll just book a new ticket. Well, we did that, only to discover, you know how in New York, you can sometimes book a ticket where you arrive at JFK, but you depart out of LaGuardia? That's exactly what we just did, except with trains. Because we come into Milan in one station and then depart from a different station in Milan. Caitlin, how do you feel?
I feel like I need like 4 more of these coffees. Live and learn, right? It's the beauty of travel. Sometimes things go wrong.
Look at how this train station is beautiful, Caitlin. Let's just look on the bright side.
Oh, there's a lot of things to look on the bright side. I'm not upset. I just need more caffeine.
After a little more coffee and a little more research on our 2-hour train ride to Milan, we were able to rebook a third ticket on a different train to Turin that didn't require us to move stations, which meant we got to spend our layover in Milan's super cool central market.
So Mercato Centrale is kind of like a combination of a food hall, an art gallery, and a music venue that is in old abandoned parts of the train station. It's really amazing and enormous. There's so much selection and choice and tons of seating and tons of options. No matter how fickle of an eater you are, I'm sure you can find something to eat while you're here. Yeah. Oh man.
My Nutella filled donut looks pretty darn good.
Wow. Okay, next stop, Subway. Go to pay. Okay.
After all that, many trains and subways and all kinds of things, we've made it, and that check-in was so lovely. Love Hilton. And we got our fresh, warm cookies here, all kinds of like coupons, free welcome drinks. And they upgraded our room.
We're on the top floor.
I know, this is so cool. This is in the old Fiat factory. So it's kind of like industrial and really neat. Whoa. Love it. Floor to ceiling windows.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Look at the TV.
Fancy.
This would be perfect.
I heard a robe. I love robes. Wow. Oh, this will be a great spot to work from. Oh. Okay.
Caitlin, why are you crawled up against the wall and the window?
Well, I mean, I was plugging all of our electronics into charge. And we were trying to figure out what our plan is. So I just spent the past like hour and a half editing some of our video for tomorrow because while the first week of this trip was a vacation, the rest of it is like a workcation. I don't know if that even makes sense.
Yeah.
Why don't you come this way with me so you can sit down?
Come join me on the bed.
So part of what we were just talking about, we decided to turn the camera on because we like to keep it real and help you guys plan trips and, you know, see the reality of traveling full time. When we were planning this trip, I feel like we had all of these great ambitions to go to all of these cities. We're like, okay, we have 3 weeks. That's plenty of time to fit in all this stuff. And I think that we overplanned. Would you agree, Howard?
I would.
Like on paper, when we were planning this all out, we're like, okay, like 2 nights here, 2 nights here, that'll be fine.
Right.
And the reality is by the time that you travel to a place, get there, you're burnt out from traveling, and then you have like 1 full day to explore before you have to hop on a train or a plane or a bus or whatever to the next spot.
I thought that it would be easier for us because of the size of Italy to get from place to place, and you know, if it was only like 2 hours or so, or 3 hours, then that would give us a half day. So realistically, we would have a day and a half in each one of these places. But what's happening is very quickly I'm realizing with Turin in particular, it matters the day of the week. On Sundays, not as many things are open. We can't actually share with you as many things as I think I would want to because of what's available in Turin. I felt ambitious, I'll admit, and I wanted to be able to share as many different places as I could in this one trip.
In addition, like I just mentioned, we're working, right? Like we're still editing our videos, we're still doing all our client work, we're still maintaining our work schedule just in another country right now. And so on top of all the travel and the exploration, it's working too. And we're not complaining by any means, we're just saying like, if you're taking a similar trip where you have to work and do all this stuff, like don't do what we did and overplan and try to like fit in so much. Quality over quantity. And I think that we kind of flipped that a little bit.
Yeah. This is our last major city.
Yes.
Everything else are small towns, which we're really excited to share. And they are not nearly to the scale of a Florence, a Parma, a Rome. I do feel like this would probably have been a great opportunity to maybe do 3 nights here instead of 2 nights.
Yeah.
Because then we could actually show you, I think, a little bit more of what kind of makes Turin special. We're gonna try our best. We'll let you know. Well, you'll see, I guess.
As the episode
as it progresses.
We've rambled enough. Now you know our thoughts on where we are right now.
Thanks for listening, and we hope that this helps you to see that we are keeping it real, and we want you to recognize that not everything is always rosy and sunny when you're traveling full time.
Today was rough. It's a beautiful fall day.
It is.
Temperature's perfect.
Yeah, I think this is about what you want it to be. Not too hot, not too cold.
No, it's like 60, 65 right now.
We're walking right now into the subway, and we're gonna be taking the subway to the city center, where we're gonna be doing a walking tour that I found. It's completely free of charge. We'll have a link in the description below, so you can hopefully experience the same.
What are we gonna find on this walking tour?
Caitlin, if I told you that, that would completely spoil the entire surprise. We're walking through this shopping area, and there's seemingly like a Sunday classic book market going on right now. It's kind of interesting. They have old books, postcards, what looks like old movie prints, like movie posters, all kinds of stuff like that. It's really interesting.
I love how on the weekends they just shut major streets down and turn it into a pedestrian area so people can just come out and walk and enjoy the good weather.
They seem to have all the value brands here. We've got your Hermes, or Hermes, depending on who you're talking to, but Hermes, Gucci, Salvatore Ferragamo, got them all.
These are too fancy for me. I've only heard of Gucci.
Mont Blanc. Oh, I mean, you can find great deals, really, along this strip. There's an incredible amount of UNESCO World Heritage sites here in Turin, and specifically where we're standing right now. Literally, this building, that building, that building, the armory, and that building over there are all collectively part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Absolutely incredible, and lots of opportunity if you want to dig deeper and explore the royal residences and all of that. they are accessible and available, including in the building behind me right now.
Turin has a fascinating history dating back thousands of years, but if you fast forward to the late 1800s, that's when it became the first official capital of a unified Italy. Today it still serves as the capital of the Piedmont region. Its location in the northern part of the country, close to the Alps, made it an ideal destination to host the Winter Olympics back in 2006. So the art installation that's outside right now is meant to look old, but with a modern twist, so they're all covered in tattoos. And the juxtaposition of like the old looking statues with the brightly colored tattoos is so cool. A common theme during our travels in Italy has been learning about and trying the delicious local delicacies. In Tuscany, it was Chianti Classico, Parmigiano Reggiano in Parma, and here in Turin, which is also the birthplace of Nutella, you'll find historic chocolatiers. This is, after all, where the modern-day commercialization of chocolate happened, even predating the Swiss and their milk chocolate concoctions. However, we opted to seek out a local traditional drink combining two of my all-time favorite things, chocolate and coffee. We popped into Strata, which first opened its doors in 1836 to try this local treat. It's like hot chocolate meets coffee.
That's literally what it is.
It's so good.
Yeah, very good.
Bicchierine, which means small glass, is a mixture of espresso, chocolate, and milk. It was first served back in 1763, and the most popular place to get one is the famous Al Bicchierine, which can serve up to 300 glasses a day. It was packed when we stopped by, and we thought Strata's was quite delicious. Even though we're in the north, we got some Sicilian street food. The place looked awesome, and he literally made everything fresh right there in front of us. So we got a panini that has chicken and some other stuff in it. And then, how do you say it, Howard? It's arancini, which is like a rice ball, and it's stuffed with prosciutto and mozzarella, and then, of course, a cannoli.
And
our first one.
Our first cannoli in Italy.
Oh.
Wow. Holy smokes.
It's like little orange candies.
I think these are dried oranges, like little orange candies inside the frosting. This is real good. Okay, Kaylin, first impressions of Turin. We've been walking around about an hour.
It's very nice. For being the fourth largest metropolitan city in all of Italy, it's not very overwhelming. I kind of like that we're here on a Sunday because like all the families are out, everybody's walking their dogs. The little square we just walked through was happening.
Yeah.
Everybody's out for lunch. So the city is really vibrant right now. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I really like it. It's very approachable. I do feel like there is a great opportunity to explore on foot. And we are just hitting the tip of the iceberg. The weekends are for markets. There are markets everywhere in Turin. This has got to be, I was going to say 5, 6 times we've seen these now.
As we mentioned, Turin is home to a collection of amazing museums. Since we were short on time and given Howard's background in cinematography, we opted to visit the National Museum of Cinema. Housed inside the stunning Mole Antonelliana, it's the tallest museum in the world.
Wow. Now look, as somebody, my background is in film. I was in film for over 20 years. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. The way that they really brought you into the experience of the genres and the way that motion pictures are created, as well as the history of motion pictures, I thought it was just absolutely fantastic.
That main room is it's like sensory overload, and there's all these different facades, and it really brings the different movies to life. And they have actual like costumes and pieces from, we saw Star Wars, there was Superman, Batman, some really cool things in there. And as somebody who doesn't have like a background or a deep understanding of it, it really is interesting and gives you a good appreciation of film, like starting from way back when it used to just be shadows and the slides and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the very early stuff was really, really interesting. And if you are a film buff, they have one of the Lumiere brothers' first cameras, one of their first motion picture cameras, which is an incredible thing to have in a museum collection.
Yeah, that was one of the best museums I've ever seen. Like, it was so well done.
That was absolutely incredible.
On our next episode, we're hopping on a high-speed train to the south, exploring the lesser visited Puglia region, starting with Bari, a picturesque port city on the Adriatic Sea. Make sure you're along for the ride, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.